Yes, this is one of the wildest things I have seen, and this is not your average robot. This is the Clone Alpha by Clone Robotics, and this contains all 206 bones that the human body contains, and they are fully articulated with artificial ligaments and connective tissues. Now, they're very high on the hand function of these robots. I'm going to show you the raw clip in a second, but just listen to this. The hand functions with human-level thumbs, surgical precision, a trigger finger, and it is compatible with human tools. And it's not going to walk like other robots. It says, finally, a robot that walks naturally. And it says, do it once and the clone will do it forever. They have a telekinesis training platform. I don't even know how that's possible. This technology is absolutely insane. I guess you can reserve one of these things this year in 2025, but just check out the raw clip and the music that they used.
Psychologists are warning about the danger of AI chatbots posing as therapists. I know more and more people using chatbots for medical advice because it's a lot more thorough than they claim to get with the doctor. How far is this going to go with relying on AI?
Well, we're already pretty far down this road as far as I'm concerned. This is one of those stories that's just almost too bizarre to be believed, but it is legit. The American Psychological Association is warning about the growing use of chatbots doing what it calls masquerading as licensed mental health professionals.
President Trump is issuing a call to arms in the battle over artificial intelligence.
The release of DeepSeek AI from a Chinese company should be a wake-up call for our industries that we need to be laser focused on competing to win.
China's new AI program, DeepSeek, is cheaper and more efficient than many of the U.S. models, and now it's the most popular app in the Apple Store. But do people know the risk it poses? And are they worried about the rise of AI?
Let's turn now to the latest in the AI arms race as heavily funded startups and tech giants hustle to get any lead they can. Now Amazon-backed Anthropic says it's developed the company's most intelligent model yet. Kate Rooney has the latest details, and I've been watching on social media, Kate, while people mess around with it, and you can do some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, Kelly, it's interesting. So Anthropic is really a first mover here with this news. They say it's their most intelligent AI model yet, but it is also a new type of AI models that competitors, think of Google and OpenAI, do not have at this point. It's called a hybrid model. So it's a mix between reasoning, basically stopping to think about complex answers, and then a traditional model that tends to spit out those answers in real time. I spoke to Anthropic's co-founder, Jared Kaplan. He told me instead of consumers needing to pick between all of these different options, quote, they want one coherent AI that can help with everything. He says there's an advantage in that simplicity.
They cite the example of two situations that happened. First of all, there was the example of a 14-year-old Florida boy who committed after interacting with a chatbot that was claiming to be a licensed therapist. They also cited the case of a 17-year-old Texas boy with autism who grew violent toward his parents after communicating with a chatbot that was claiming to be a psychologist. A key problem here, according to the Psychological Association, is that these chatbots don't challenge a user's thinking. Rather, they reinforce it. And that can be, well, potentially dangerous for anyone who is already in a downward slope and can then fall into a complete downward spiral, or worse. Now, these chatbots cited in the two examples I gave you were offered by an app called Character.ai, and that company says that its make-believe counselors are simply a form of entertainment. It says that it tells users of the chatbot characters that, quote, they should be treated as fiction. But, you know, that's the same argument that newspaper horoscopes make, that it's only entertainment and you shouldn't base any life choices off it. And that's one thing for a horoscope. It's something else entirely for an online, seemingly mental health professional who is dispensing seemingly professional advice, even though it is just a chatbot. The Psychological Association is calling on federal authorities to investigate this. I wonder if an investigation is even needed. The idea that robots are now dispensing mental health, even in the form of entertainment, is not just dangerous, it's completely wrong, and it should be stopped.
You're talking about people who are already, young people already in a fragile state.
Yeah.
That's scary stuff.
It is. It's very, and young people especially are susceptible to this, and they will also buy in to a chatbot. They have grown up in this world of interacting on social media, interacting online. They don't really question it anymore. They accept it, and in the case of a chatbot, they are now so realistic that it's easy to get caught up in their spell. And that's a very troublesome thing because, as I say, these chatbots, they reinforce what you're coming at them with. That's not what a therapist does.
Parents, keep a close eye
Please.
on what your
Always.
kids are looking
Please.
at in general, but now with it could just look like a text message
Right.
when they're talking AI.
We clearly need guardrails when it comes to chatbots.
People can turn the reasoning part on or off. It's sort of a toggle feature. And this is live and available today. As you said, Kelly, people are starting to mess around with it. The move could give Anthropic a much needed edge against some of its competitors, OpenAI and a lot of the big tech companies. This is the company we should mention, backed by Amazon. Amazon's invested about $8 billion into this startup. Anthropic Chief Product Officer Mike Krieger, who also happened to co-found Instagram, also told me this is an effort to make this whole chatbot experience more simple. Simplify the whole thing. Says these models, they all have different personalities. They're all a little bit different. And he would eventually hope that users don't have to think about it in the future. We also heard from Sam Altman. He hinted a couple weeks ago that OpenAI would move in this direction. He posted on X that his company would try to do a, quote, better job in simplifying our product offerings, writing that we hate the model picker as much as you do, and we want to return to what he called the magic of unified intelligence. Kelly.
Well, it's, you watch these wars back and forth, and it's incredible how every day you turn around, there's something new and better and amazing on the scene. But the real trick is going to be who can stick with consumers. OpenAI with ChatGPT now has, 400 million active users?
That's going to be the tough part. And everybody's sprinting at the same time after enterprises, but you are seeing this sort of flywheel effect where the more people are using your consumer chatbot, the more those same people are going to go to their company and say, hey, boss, I'm actually using this great chatbot. Why don't we try to integrate it on the enterprise side? So Anthropic is really battling here. They've had a couple wins, though. They launched sort of this agent capability ahead of OpenAI. So it's one thing to be the first mover. It's another thing to be the best and to have a sustained moat, which I think is one of the big questions about these richly valued companies.
All right, Nicole, when you're not cleaning the chicken coop, I have seen you doing stuff on social media.
Well done.
She does it all, by the way.
Did clean a chicken coop today. Yes,
Yeah,
I did.
she
because
does
egg
it all.
prices are so high. They killed off 150 million hens. I'm glad I have 9.
You
All right,
always-
I digress. Let's
I'm-
get back to some AI chat.
Yes, but on the other end of the spectrum is artificial intelligence. It can do a lot of good. Like in medicine, I would think it would be really good. But are you concerned about the espionage and the spying and China having all this data?
Well, as we just heard on the streets, that one thing, she's absolutely correct. AI in healthcare is revolutionary. From just communicating and accessibility with our patients more, it's also helping us detect more illnesses and helping with treatment. So I think when it comes to healthcare, it's great. Do I have concerns about it? Yes. And can I please just ask, can we get the messaging right on these Chinese apps like TikTok and now DeepSeek? Are they okay? Are they not okay? Like, I can't keep up with the news, especially when it comes to TikTok. And now we're talking about DeepSeek, which I just had to ask X what Grok was like a week ago. So I'm not the person to ask. I'm not up to date on this. But now, I don't know, since we're just putting these tariffs on China, I'm not sure now's the time that I'm going to start downloading these Chinese apps. It doesn't feel like a good time when we're trying to, nudge them a little bit, poking that bear.
Well, they're omnipresent in so many ways.
Sometimes you come across something and you're like,
no way this is true. Like this post from an account called @RealBen claiming that in 1919, Ford wanted to use extra profits to raise employee wages and employ more people. Dodge sued them, saying that a corporation's only responsibility is to increase shareholder value and that this has set the precedent for current U.S. corporate law. This sounds like Ford propaganda. But then I looked it up and it's 100% true. Dodd versus Ford Motor Company is a case in which the Michigan Supreme Court held that Henry Ford had to operate the Ford Motor Company in the interest of its shareholders rather than a manner for the benefit of his employees or customers. The facts leading up to the case is that in 1916, the Ford Motor Company had accumulated a surplus of $60 million. So Henry Ford then declared, quote, "My ambition is to employ still more men to spread the benefits of this industrial system to the greatest possible number, to help them build up their lives and their homes. To do this, we are putting the greatest share of our profits back in the business." Sounds pretty freaking good. Except they were sued by these two dudes, Horace and John Dodge, the founders of Dodge Motor Company. The lasting effect of their lawsuit is, as of 2022, in Delaware, the jurisdiction where over half of the U.S. public companies are domiciled, shareholder primacy is still upheld.
You seen this? It's going around. This is, I think, an AI service. I think you can use it based off of a photo. They had an interior apartment.
And then it can show you exactly where the person lives?
It is.
Yeah.
They can do this now with any photo. I don't know. It's called like GeoSpy.
Oh, I've heard about
it. Yeah.
That's crazy.
This is like a stalker's paradise.
Yeah. Any social media post, they can find like a CCTV camera and like show them taking the photo kind of too.
What the